I hope you're well. Good to have everyone back, I'm sure, after the break. So we'll start there with any injury updates, any team news ahead of Monday. And with that, just anything on Granit Xhaka, any interaction you've had with him over the past few days or so?
Not any bad news. At the moment, everybody seems to be okay. Granit is progressing really well, but obviously we know that it's a long-term injury, unfortunately, and he's not going to be available.
Arsenal seem to really turn a corner after the last international fortnight. Do you have the feeling that this break has done just as much good as the last one and you can pick up where you left off again?
It's what it is. We managed to turn things around a little bit. There is still big margin for improvements, but we got important results that they were very needed in that moment. And we just need to think about doing things better, progressing in the table, and focusing on winning our next match.
Well, going into the break, the defence really started to look quite stable and settled with those 3 clean sheets in 4. But going forward, with just the 5 goals so far in the Premier League, would you say that attacking threat has been the main area of focus as you prepare for Crystal Palace?
Well, they've been many areas. That's one of them. Obviously, the players that we have available to work here, because of the amount of international we have, is very limited. But it's something that certainly we can do better. We can improve even our efficiency in front of goal. And when we get that balance right, obviously it will help us to win more games.
Patrick Vieira will, of course, be making a much-anticipated return to Arsenal Monday with Palace. Before we talk about him as a manager, just speaking as a former Arsenal captain yourself, how much did you admire him as a player?
He's an Arsenal legend, and I hope he gets the reception that he deserves for what he did for the football club. Not only as a player as well, what he transmitted as a person. He was the captain of the football club in the most successful era, probably in the last many years, and it's great to have him back.
And how impressed have you been with how quickly he's adapted as a Premier League manager?
Well, he has already a couple of experiences, and he knows the league really well, and you can see the touch that he's trying to put in the team, and the thing that he's trying to implement there.
And do you feel that the way he sets Crystal Palace up, do you feel they're a side that you might be able to create more against on Monday?
I don't know how they're going to set up. They've done it in different ways, using different players in most of the time similar formations. Let's see how the game develops.
Okay, we'll leave it there. Good luck.
Congratulations on your award.
Thank you.
Manager of the month. I haven't had a chance to speak to you since it was announced. Do you welcome that kind of personal accolade?
Yeah, it's not personal because it's all the people that is behind that helps to achieve those trophies. It's nice, and as manager, we just focus now in the next thing, which is win more football matches and hopefully more to come, because that will mean that we're doing the right things.
Isn't it funny how things could change in football? 1 minute you're getting slaughtered and you're under pressure, the next minute you're winning manager of the month.
It is the opportunity that this game gives you, and that's always there. You have to stand up and keep believing, work hard, be critical, and try to analyze things to try to change them and improve them. And football gives you always another opportunity.
Spoke there about Patrick Vieira, a legend in the true sense of the word here at Arsenal. You expect him to have a big welcome from the Arsenal supporters, but
well,
he deserves it, doesn't he?
I have no doubt that will be the case, to have him back and welcome him, and having his figure and why he's been at the club recognized in the right manner. I think it's really important, and I'm sure that will be the case.
In terms of Granit, he's been on his social media page looking pretty happy. He's saying he's in work mode, quotes. Do you think it might be less than the 3 months that people were talking about before he's back?
With Granit, I don't know. What I'm sure is that if you tell him 3, he will be thinking 2. He will be trying to cut edges and doing extra work to try to minimize that time. That's for sure. And we have to do it in the right way, because it's a significant injury, and we want to have him back properly when he can.
Sounds like you've had a good international break in terms of you haven't, none of the players, as far as you know, picked up any injuries. And indeed, Thomas Partey has been very impressive for Ghana, scored a couple of goals as well. He has had his injury problems though. It's a Monday kick-off, so will he have time to be involved in the game against Palace?
Well, let's see. We haven't had the players here yet. Some of them because they're still traveling and they are not being assessed by the medical staff. But hopefully, he finishes both games really well. He played well. He scored a couple of goals, like many other players did in this international break. And hopefully, everybody's in the right condition on Monday to help us win the game.
Just a quick revisit again, Patrick Vieira. Were you surprised Crystal Palace picked him as head coach manager, given that he hasn't experienced top job?
Well, but he had experiences before, and obviously Patrick knows the league much better probably than any other manager because he has experienced it himself as a player, and it's great that he got the opportunity to do that.
Another legend, another Arsenal legend, Thierry Henry, has been commenting about your Arsenal. He said he's watched all the games, despite your run of good results. He says that he's not sure the team's going in the right direction. Have you heard those comments and what do you make of them?
No, I haven't. I'm just hearing from you.
It doesn't help though, does it, when big name former players make comments like that? I guess it's just another opinion, so you have to respect that. 10 points from 4 games. Was it actually, contrary to the earlier questioning, was it a bad time for the break to come? Would you rather have carried on with the momentum?
When you're in good momentum, you want to carry on playing as quick as possible, and when the confidence is there and the momentum is there, you want to continue. But again, we knew that we had to stop after that game. We want to get as many points as possible, and we did well enough to do that and be in a different position to a month ago, and now we have to just improve it.
Thanks, Gary. We'll now go to George.
Is it a little bit of football romance in a way that 25 years ago Arsene Wenger was in charge of Arsenal for the first time, and here on Monday you've got 2 of his former captains managing the club? I just wonder what you thought of that.
I don't know, that when you're still in this industry, that ball is rolling and roles change, and in the next 10 years something else would happen with another former player or another manager that has a different role in another team. It's part of what it is.
Did you what was your thoughts on that Arsenal 2004 Invincible team? Because that's what Vieira's, one of his famous things for Arsenal. I know you never played against the Invincibles, but what was your take on that team?
They were a joy to watch. I think that team had everything. They dominated every aspect of the game in the right way. He had incredible leadership to start with some of the names that they had. He had a presence, they have the right identity, and they have the talent, the quality, and then the self-confidence as well to believe that they were the best, and they show it.
As a former centre midfielder yourself, would you have liked to have played against Vieira in his peak?
No, because again he was very dominant. He was physically really gifted. Technically, he had the right temper. He was brave. He could score goals. He could do a bit of everything, and he was a remarkable player.
Can I just ask you one about Lacazette? There's a few stories that potentially could leave in January. I just wondered what your response to that would be.
No, that's we are focusing on getting the best out of Laka, and he shows every day his commitment is here, and we just want to give him the right minutes so he can show the quality and he can help the team to be better.
And Jack Wilshere, he was at the Newport match with the young side in the week. Is there a plan for him at the moment, or are you just what's the future for him and Arsenal?
He's around the place. We are trying to help him to get fit. He's training sometimes with us, sometimes with academies around the place. It's been great to have him around, and that will continue to be the case.
Thanks. Good luck on Monday. Thank you.
Thanks, George. We'll go to
Just one more on Patrick Vieira, because I know he's a legend. I know he's going to get a great reception. I know you've been asked about him ad infinitum. But in a way, Arsenal have been searching for another Vieira in terms of that midfielder and that captain pretty much since he left. Is that fair?
I don't know. That's a long time ago, so I don't know what the research has been. There have been other really good midfielders. And Patrick was Patrick. He's not going to have another one like him.
But apart from you, when you captain the team, there hasn't been another kind of Tony Adams, Patrick Vieira, you captain, a big name, big personality that really can lead the team back to its former glories.
Yeah, but we can have them in different positions, in different qualities. It's a different era as well, and the way players were raised, educated, was different to now as well, Ian. And we cannot try to copy that. Obviously, it would be great to have someone like him in the team, or Tony. And we have different qualities and different characteristics with players, and we have to develop them.
About 6 weeks ago, when Aaron Ramsdale joined, or whenever the transfer window ended, there were a lot of Arsenal fans on social media that weren't happy. You held your nerve. You came and spoke to us about Aaron joining, and it's proved to be 100% the right decision, because he looks as if he was almost born to be the Arsenal goalkeeper.
I don't know. Well, we tried to make the decision as a club to sign and bring the right profile that we believe he had all the qualities needed to succeed at the club. And still very early to make a judgment of how good he is, the way he's settled, what he can transmit on and off the pitch. I think it's really important. He has engaged and he has adapted really well to the club. I think he's getting a great connection as well with our supporters, and he's performing well, which is the most important thing as well.
Do you think if he carries on like this, he could challenge Jordan Pickford to be the number one for England?
He needs to keep performing like what he's doing, and always trying to think, okay, what I'm doing right, continue to do those things, and be humble and think about as well the things that he can improve. And everything will come naturally. It has already happened to him very early to be a goalkeeper, to be fair, with his age and his career. But he deserves that because of how he has handled every step along the way. And some of them, they've been difficult moments and disappointments, which are important as well to evolve in your career.
And finally, a couple on Emil Smith-Rowe. I spoke to him the other night after he scored a bit of England's under-21s against Andorra. And he very much gave you most of the credit, saying that you're the one who is just trying to get him to score more goals and improve his game on that front. Is that the main thing he has to do to improve his game? Just add goals to them?
I think the intention, the hunger and the ambition should be there. And he's capable of doing it. We want to ask the players things that they can achieve, and I'm sure that Emil can improve that part of his game. He's so willing to do it. He's working on it almost every day. He's asking the right question, and he's getting better because he has a real hunger.
And he seems very, the word that everyone uses right now, humble. He doesn't seem very big-headed at all. Is that something you're also instilling into to keep his feet on the floor?
To be fair, Emil is naturally like this. If anything, sometimes you have to tell him how good he is, and he needs to believe how good he is and encourage him to try things because he's capable of doing. And he's a joy to work with, and still very early in his career, but we are really happy to have him in the team.
Cheers, Mikel. Good luck on Monday.
Thank you.
These press conferences are a way for you to sort of talk directly to the supporters as much as anything else. So I did a little survey of the fans to see what they'd like to ask you, and the number one topic was what's going on with Gabriel Martinelli. Why is he not getting much game time so far?
Well, because of the amount of players that we have in those positions. First of all, he had some games that he played. He started against Brentford, and he started against Chelsea as well, and he started another game. Unfortunately, he got injured last week. It's a minor injury. We don't know if he's going to be available for Monday, but we have a lot of trust with Gabi, and we need to find the right space for him to grow within the squad.
So he was playing a lot about a year or so ago, but has he gone backwards in terms of his progression?
No, if you look at the number of games that he's played, obviously the injuries that he has suffered has been big setbacks on that with him. We sometimes forget his age, what he's done, and where he is, and we need to try to help him as well to maintain that balance right, because you can generate frustration that comes out of, in my opinion, a not very realistic diagnosis, and you need time to do that.
Would you like him to go on loan in January? Would it be on loan that he gets more of a chance?
No, I'm very happy with him. We're not thinking about anything like that.
Okay, the other question was looking ahead to the new year and the Africa Cup of Nations. Granit could be injured, I know, but if you've got El Neni and Thomas Partey going as well, what plans have you made in midfield?
Let's see where we are at that point, which player we have available, which player has to definitely be there, and for how long, because there are some question marks there as well. And we will find a solution. We have no choice. If they have to leave, they have to leave, and we'll have to find the right replacements for them.
In terms of midfield, what's the situation with Matteo Guendouzi, who was in the France squad for the Nations League victory? Is there any chance of him coming back, or is he gone for the season?
For example, for right now, he's gone for the season, and I think he's having a really good spell in Marseille, and it's part of the plan that we made with him, and he continued with his development, and we made a decision at the end of the year.
But is it fair to say he's played his last game for Arsenal?
I think you cannot say that about a player that is owned by the club.
Okay. Thank you for your time. Good luck on Monday. Cheers.
Thanks, Nick.